Okay, Mr. Trump, do you understand why you're in court today?
No, I forgot.
How did Donald Trump amass his wealth? The Republican presidential frontrunner and billionaire businessman is known for his penchant for discussing his financial success. He has proudly proclaimed his wealth to his supporters, stating, "I am really rich and I've always been good at making money." Mr. Trump estimates his net worth to be over $10 billion, pay $7 billion. Although this figure has been subject to dispute, the exact value of his wealth remains unclear, as various organizations that have examined his finances have arrived at different conclusions. Forbes values his net worth at $4.5 billion, Wealth X at $4.4 billion, and Bloomberg Billionaires Index at just $2.9 billion. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button to be notified when we post great videos. Let us know your possible suggestions by leaving your comments below. Mr. Trump dismisses these lower figures, asserting that he is worth much more. The primary reason for the significant disparity in these estimates is the fact that a substantial portion of his business holdings are privately held. In October, the frontrunner informed voters that his father provided him with a small loan of $1 million to initiate his business ventures. Trump not only received financial support from his father, but also adopted his business approach. Fred Trump, Donald's father, established a $1 million residential real estate enterprise in Brooklyn and Queens. He was renowned for constructing high-quality buildings that still stand today, while also maximizing profits by meticulously managing costs. He consistently completed government-funded projects under budget and retained the surplus as profit, a practice that, although legal, led to his appearance before Congress. Fred Trump never missed an opportunity to take advantage of a tax break, and Donald learned from him, explains Gwenda Blair, author of The Trumps. While Donald Trump asserts that the decision to transition from constructing low-income housing in New York's outer boroughs to luxury towers in Manhattan was his own, Blair suggests that it was likely influenced by his father. According to Blair, Donald Trump relied on his father's resources, including co-signing loans and leveraging banking and political connections. In 1976, Mr. Trump's first major project was the Commodore Hotel, which he purchased with the Hyatt organization and renamed the Grand Hyatt. This investment was a significant risk, as many buildings in Manhattan were facing foreclosure, and the city was not yet the luxury vacation destination it is today. However, Mr. Trump's negotiating skills proved successful as he secured a 40-year tax break from New York City that saved the hotel $160 million. He later sold his half of the hotel to Hyatt for $142 million in 1996. Mr. Trump continued to invest in and develop grand New York buildings, including the Plaza Hotel and the former Bank of Manhattan building. The crown jewel of his company is the 58-floor Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, completed in 1983, which still serves as the headquarters for the Trump Organization and the residence of Mr. Trump and his family on the top floors. Barbara Reyes, former head of Trump Tower construction, recounts in a New York Daily News article how Mr. Trump was initially approachable and accessible, but gradually required more coddling and agreement. While Mr. Trump may toot his real estate prowess, the majority of his net worth stems from his brand value, which he began cultivating in the 1980s. During this time, he frequently appeared on television and was vocal during the 1988 Republican primaries. The Trump Organization also began licensing the Trump name to other companies, increasing its global prominence. Presently, numerous Trump brands pay licensing fees to use the name, but are not owned by the Trump Organization, such as the Trump Ocean Club and Trump Fine Foods. In 1987, Mr. Trump's celebrity status soared with the publication of The Art of the Deal. He further solidified his reputation as a no-nonsense negotiator during his decade-long tenure as host of The Apprentice, where his blunt remarks and public firings of potential employees garnered him a devoted following. Like his father, Mr. Trump is known for his frugality. He has referred to the practice of withholding payments on contracts as a strategic business decision employed when he is dissatisfied with the quality of work, in order to compel the other party to negotiate a reduced rate. In an interview with Reuters, he disclosed that he engages in contract renegotiations approximately 10 to 15 of the time. He openly admits to vigorously advocating for the lowest possible payment, stating, "I fight like hell to pay as little as possible." This approach, characterized by his tenacious determination, has resulted in numerous high-profile legal disputes. Notably, he currently faces a lawsuit regarding Trump University and has previously been sued by a former employee and union pension funds. Furthermore, he has utilized lawsuits as a strategic tool, such as when he filed a lawsuit against a former Miss UA contestant for publicly criticizing the pageant he owned, and against Deutsche Bank for denying him a loan extension for a building project in Chicago. Despite these legal battles, he frequently garners praise for his astute business acumen. During an interview on BBC Radio 4, Piers Morgan described Mr. Trump as a smart guy, highlighting his ability to effectively manage his businesses and entrust them to highly capable individuals. Activist investor Carly Kane, who has been suggested by Mr. Trump as a potential Treasury Secretary, has expressed his opinion that the front-runner is a highly receptive individual. According to Mr. Icahn, Mr. Trump possesses a strong sense of self-confidence and is willing to listen to others. In 2009, Mr. Icahn assumed control of Trump Entertainment after the company filed for bankruptcy, resulting in Mr. Trump relinquishing his entire investment in his Atlantic City casinos. Mr. Trump is not unfamiliar with legal proceedings, having utilized the law on 4 occasions to achieve significant outcomes, as he mentioned during a debate. By the 1990s, Mr. Trump and his companies had accumulated a debt of nearly $3.5 billion. Over the past 3 decades, his organization has successfully negotiated with lenders to reduce its debt on 4 separate occasions. Typically, the primary concession made was for Mr. Trump to surrender a portion or the entirety of his ownership, while the properties retained the Trump name, thereby preserving the brand. The sole instance in which Mr. Trump personally faced financial liability was in 1991, with the bankruptcy of the Trump Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City. He was accountable for $900 million of the nearly $3 billion debt held by the casino and was compelled to relinquish 50% of his ownership in the company, as well as sell his airline and yacht. Mr. Trump's international dealings can be just as controversial as his campaign rhetoric. Despite labeling the Chinese as cheaters, he enlisted Chinese investors to assist in financing his project in New York's West Side rail yards. Eventually, Mr. Trump and his investors sold that property for $1.8 billion. While he professes his love for Scotland, where his mother was born and where he possesses multiple golf courses, he has criticised the Scottish government and UK courts for permitting the construction of a wind farm within view of his Balmedy golf course in Aberdeenshire. The Trump Ocean Resort Baja, Mexico, was compelled to reach a settlement in a lawsuit with investors who had spent millions to purchase condos or apartments that were never constructed. As the controversy surrounding the failed resort escalated, Donald Trump emphasized that the developers were the ones who licensed his name, and that he bore no responsibility for the resort. Despite his appearance in promotional materials, Mr. Trump has also faced criticism for permitting the clothing brand that licenses his name to import products from Mexico, while simultaneously denouncing other companies that import goods to the US. A significant factor contributing to the success of the Trump Organization is Mr. Trump's willingness to associate his name with a wide range of products, from buildings to steaks to ties. Forbes has awarded Donald Trump a score of 5 out of 10 on its self-made scale, indicating that he inherited a small or medium-sized business and transformed it into a fortune exceeding 10 digits. As long as Mr. Trump can maintain his association with wealth and success, many of his business ventures should continue to thrive. However, the impact of his presidential bid on this image remains uncertain. That's what we have for you today. Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that share button.